If you're a follower of the channel, you'll know I have this fairy lights in my garden. Now originally they used this thing. It converts the AC voltage at 230 volts into a DC output of 30 volts. Equally, in my shed, I've got a 12 volt supply. And now this is a really common situation where you have one supply but another load that differ in the terms of voltage. You're going to find it in things like running computers, running your TV, charging your phone, that sort of stuff, where your supply doesn't match the voltage requirement, and that might seem like a problem, but the solution is right here. Well, this tiny thing is a DC to DC buck boost converter, and it is the XL6009. It's taken over from the LM2577 as being more efficient, and as you can see, it's tiny. Now, I bought 8 of these, and this cost me £1.50. What it'll do is it'll take anywhere between 3 and 30 volts in and change it to 5 to 35 volts out, and this little device will handle 4 amps. Now, that's more than enough for the fairy lights in my garden, and to use it, well, it's that way. It says in there and out there. So the 12 volts go in there, and when I set it, the 30 volts will come out of there. And the way I set it is by twiddling that little screw up and down. So I get a 12 volt supply and stick it on there, and a multimeter and stick it on the out, and I twiddle that screw until the multimeter reads the voltage I want. As you can see, it's currently reading about 22 volts. If we turn it anti-clockwise, then the voltage goes up. Clockwise, the voltage goes down, and we just twiddle that until we get the voltage output we want. So to fit this, of course, we have to bring the wire into the building. So the lights are on ahead, it's clipped to the top there, and it comes down here and through that hole into the other side of the building. But you might notice this. This is actually called a drip loop, because in a rainy country like the UK, if we put it straight into there, the rain would follow down the wire and go straight into there. What it does is follow down the wire and collects here and drips off. It might seem like a little thing, but actually that's essential when it comes to putting wires in a building in a country like the UK. So to fit this, I knocked up a simple project box on the 3D printer, and that will basically go in there. Now, I want to be able to turn these on when I'm at the house. I don't want to stumble up the garden in the dark and turn them on. So I got this, which is a remote switch. On this remote switch, just like a normal switch really, there's the input, so that will go to our power source. This feeds in through there and connects to the inside of this board there, and the outside of the board connects to the lights, and that will feed out through there. So we need to solder that onto that. There they are on the wall. Now what we need to do is strip the lights wire back and solder it in place here on the out, then a bit of hot glue to make sure it doesn't touch the screws, and we can put the cap on, and that's it, finished. This, as I say, goes to our power supply. So let's strip that back and get it hot glued in place. Okay, that's it, caps on, and we're finished. Now we need to connect this to its power supply and pair this to the key. If we were doing this as just a normal switch, then the chances are that little buck boost converter would fit in the switch and you wouldn't even notice it. But let's get this paired. And when you've done that, what you get is this. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So, what we've done is take one of these, which is a DC to DC buck boost converter, take our 12 volt supply, twiddle this little screw on here and get our 34 volts that we need to run our application. And of course, you can do that for any DC to DC using one of these. This particular one is limited at 4 amps and it's £1.50. You can get them much more powerful than that. I mean, this is about 120 watts. You can get them to anything. Of course, they do go up in price the more you get power handling capabilities. So something like this application needs next to nothing. Now, one of the good things about automotive RVs, boats, of course, is the 12 volt market has a lot of stuff that's just sold off the shelf. but sometimes it can be a bit of a premium, which I think is a bit mad, because it's absolutely no trouble. I mean, you saw how easy it was. It really was as simple as twiddling that little brass screw to take a £1.50 piece of equipment to do this, and it would be the same. I mean, this would run a computer, run most televisions. It's really quite simple to do and relatively trivial, in fact. Now, at 12 volts, there's pretty much nothing to be afraid of. I mean, you have to be standing in a suit of armour with chairmail on or standing in a pool of salty water to start worrying about something like 12 volts. That's why the low voltage regs finish at 50. It doesn't matter pretty much at 12 volts what you're going to do, unless of course you short it across the terminals with a spanner, in which case you'll melt the spanner. But it's not going to do anything to you. It's really no trouble at all, which is why I like that idea. And you do have to pay an extra £1.50, but I think it's a hell of a lot cheaper than buying an inverter and then using the power brick to take that inverted AC current back down to DC with all its concurrent costs associated with it and lack of efficiency. It's one of the things that really attracts me to it. So putting in a little board like that is really the plan for anything that is, for me, anything that is DC to DC. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it really showed you how easy it actually was, and in fact how practical it is to be able to do something like this yourself. It really is quite easy. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and please do remember to like and subscribe.